Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For our radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all can be with us. Also, just joining us through iHeartRadio and Amazon Music, we're glad you all could be with us as well. This is part of our News You Can Use segment today here at WYAD, and today we're talking to you guys about a new campaign that I think all of us should be aware of. I think as we're kind of thinking about kids going back to school and even our own families, we know that food, nutrition, and health are all interconnected, but across America, and especially in rural America, people don't always have the access to the food, health, and even the care that they need. Well, joining us today to discuss a new campaign to help us bring awareness to the issue, we're excited to welcome Brian Leake to our broadcast. Brian is the Director of External Communications at Bayer. He's going to talk to you guys not only about the Take Care Now campaign, but also how you guys can get more information as well. Brian, thank you again for the time. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Cyrus.
Well, this is an important topic, as I mentioned, here in the South where we're broadcasting from on the radio side, Brian. Of course, kids are going back to school. Nutrition is one of the things that we always think about when it comes to the family. But can you discuss the lack of access to health and nutrition resources for Americans that are living in rural areas?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it is a challenge. And you know, I think people think about these rural communities as, you know, a lot of times farming communities and the communities that provide food to, you know, most of us in the country, but the fact is that and it's an interesting dichotomy, but 90% of the counties across the nation with the highest food insecurity rates are rural communities. And you know, knowing that the fact that in the U.S. alone, 34 million Americans, including 9 million children, experience that food insecurity. So it is a significant problem, and you know, it disproportionately impacts those rural communities. And on the flip side of that coin, from a health access standpoint, we know that more than a third of those living in counties are in counties where there is inadequate access to things like pharmacies, primary care providers, hospitals, and things like that. So it is something that it's a big challenge, but Bayer and some of our partners, we're working through a new campaign to help address some of that.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so glad to have you here to talk to us about this, Brian, because as I mentioned, the campaign is called Take Care Now. So how is the campaign helping people across the country to be able to access the care that they need?
So as I mentioned, this is, you know, a massive challenge, and you know, after understanding the discrepancy and the need in these rural communities, Bayer, who, you know, I think most of us know, you know, or many of your listeners know Bayer as a life science company that's focused on, you know, developing aspirin and Aleve and Claritin and those type of products. But what we also have is a big ag arm. So we have we're one of the leading agriculture companies in the country, and it really makes a lot of sense from our standpoint. These rural communities are where we have employees, where we live, work, and do business. So it makes perfect sense for us. But we know that this challenge is much bigger than just Bayer alone. So we've worked to get partners on board to help us with this challenge. And these partners include Luke Bryan, who's been just unbelievable in helping shed light and awareness on this problem in these rural communities. And folks may not know, but Luke is the son of a peanut farmer, and he's a farmer himself. So this topic and these communities are very near and dear to him. But we're also working with Kroger, who has locations in these rural communities and can help provide that access to healthy food and nutrition, as well as health care through their pharmacies and their pharmacists on site. And then two organizations that really focus on getting health and healthy foods to these communities. Feeding America, which operates a network of food banks across the country, including many in these rural communities, as well as an organization called AgriSafe, who focuses on customized training for healthcare professionals and getting them into these communities where otherwise there really isn't much in the way of healthcare. So it's a really I think, meaningful partnership, and it's a campaign that we're having a lot of fun with as far as promoting it on Luke's upcoming farm tour, which is making 6 stops at different locations across the country. But it's really also fulfilling a need in these communities as well.
And that is what is so great. Now, you mentioned, of course, partners like Kroger, which is big in our area. Brian, of course, Luke, Brian, everyone, I think, on the planet pretty much knows who Luke is. This is something that Bayer felt a need for. Talk to us about what Bayer is doing to promote the campaign and to help raise awareness.
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of different things to promote and raise awareness. First of all, we will have, I mentioned the Luke Bryan Farm Tour, which is kicking off next week. Luke's making 6 different stops really in areas across the country, and we will be on site. I'm actually going to be one of the individuals that will be meeting with folks at those concerts and in those rural communities. They're being held on farms and in small towns, in different locations. But being able to kind of convey this new Take Care Now campaign to these different communities, we're also focused on creating awareness through the use of a hashtag, Here's to the Farmer. And we've created a website. If you go to bayer.com/US, we've created a whole website with information and materials about the campaign, links to our partners, and really to try to help educate individuals that this really is a challenge that we need to be committed to helping our rural communities resolve.
Yeah. Well, it's a great campaign, Brian, and I'm so glad that we could help spread the word, and I'm really appreciative of what Bayer is doing along with their partners to be able to make sure that these communities are able to get the help that they need. Again, everyone, Brian Leake has been our guest. Brian is the Director of External Communications for Bayer, telling you guys not only about the Take Care Now campaign, but also what it's doing to help to increase the access to health and nutrition resources to those living in rural areas and also those working with them. Brian, I know you just gave it out, but would you mind giving out that information again for our audience where they can go for more information?
Absolutely, and thanks for the opportunity, Cyrus. We're encouraging folks to use the hashtag Here's to the Farmer, and then visit bayer.com/US, and there you'll be able to find all the information about our partners, our new Take Care Now campaign, and really help us support us and our partners in this effort.
All right. Well, Brian, thank you again. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to speaking with you again on the broadcast.
Thank you so much. Take care now.
More than welcome. You as well. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.